Hello, Animal Messages with Julie. And if you're tuning in, you have come to a wonderful episode. Okay, so behind me is the peaceful pet tree, where if your pet passes over or they have trauma, their name goes on here. And we do some grief counseling, we do some trauma clearing, whatever's appropriate. Okay, so if you're just tuning, okay, all right. This is today's topic, wound healing, healing wounds. And what Chico called it this, a Wiener Lift. So if you make an appointment with me for a Wiener Lift, I will know exactly what you're talking about. So we're going to discuss a Wiener Lift today. And yes, Chico meant exactly what he's talking about. Yeah. Chico had one heck of a sense of humor and he swore a lot and he didn't give a hoot. And Chico, if you're just tuning in, Chico was my dog and he's the first one that started talking to me. So I am Julie and I'm an animal communicator, behavioral coach, grief counselor. Okay, so what transpires? I'm an empath, so I feel what the animal feels. I hear them in English, Spanish, or German, and then the animal and I talk. Okay, now what about this wound healing? Okay, so I was an accountant and then something caused a transition. So I started studying access consciousness, okay, which is what you do on people's bodies, people's trauma. And now I use that all for the animals. So how does a Wiener Lift translate into a healing wounds? Okay, all right. I'm going to show you Chico's wound heal, okay? Because visual is everything, right? Okay. Yeah, that's the bad one. That's the healed one. Okay. All right. Right. Here we go. That is a wound Chico had 2.5 years ago now, on his foot, on his paw, right? He was a Chihuahua and a bigger dog mix, okay, 15 pounds. And he died at 17 years old. So he was like 16. And I took the picture because taking him to the vet is traumatic for him. So I thought, I'm going to take a picture of this wound that is not healing and see if I can get around actually taking the animal to the vet. Some of you know what I mean. Okay. So yeah, that image, nasty, not really life-threatening, but okay. So COVID started, blah, 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 right? Humans aren't going to come and have me do energy healing on them because it's COVID and, math. And okay, right at the beginning, we didn't know what to do, right? Everybody stayed in. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to learn some more of this access consciousness then. Well, I'm one of those personalities where I guess I'm not happy unless I have balls in the air, like lots of balls in the air. So I'm like, okay, found a trainer for that. Great. So can you do me and my friend teach us how to do this energetic facelift? It's called Access Facelift. And it's done on humans and it's done on the face. Okay. So there's a day long, 8 hours. Okay. And my friend and I went, we paid, and the lady that trained us was happy to do it because again, COVID. So a lot of incomes and way of life changed drastically, right? So my friend and I went there, an 8-hour day. We get on the massage table and it actually works on your face, and you touch points of the face, points of the head. Access consciousness is something you can look up on YouTube also. And they have their website, and internationally, the certified individuals are on there. Now, the lady we took the class from had not renewed her license to teach it with access consciousness. So another benefit, she gave us to a half price, but then we didn't get put on the website as having been certified. No big deal, because I don't, like I said, I work with the animals now, and the animals aren't like, let me see your license. So brought Chico along, right? So I brought Chico along because it wasn't in a salon, it wasn't in a hotel, it was, and forgive me, it's sweaty here right now. So these glasses keep sliding down my nose. So I'll just keep bringing them back up then. So we went to a house. So I brought Chico along. Chico the whole day spent right underneath the massage table, right? So right underneath the heart. And he laid there. So those of you who've done Reiki or training in these areas, you practice on each other. That's what you do. It's a learn by doing kind of a thing. It's not a big, let's read this and now I know it and analyze it. No. This access consciousness is a doing thing. So 8 hours, maybe 5, 6 energetic, I call them energetic facelifts, access facelifts done. Dog, what is that, 3 feet underneath? That's the whole time. So he's getting our energy. The energy from your fingertips, everybody goes out 3 feet. So you don't actually have to touch a person if you have these capacities in order to start something, right? And you know this, if you're sitting next to somebody on a couch, you can like feel them, right? But if you're in another room, you can't really feel them, right? So you don't have to touch to feel that thing. Okay. So then the next day, Tuesday was the next day. This. I'm like, okay, well, I better take care of this vet thing. And I look at his paw, you can barely see it. 24 hours after doing these facelifts, I'm like, oh my God, does this work? If I ever had any doubt. Because, it's meant to work like a facelift, but without a knife, right? Energetically, cellulars turn to their point of creation, uncreate oldings. Cosmic Botox comes from this. God's laser comes from this. These are energies that are out there that we can call on. Anyway, I'm going to show you the ick picture of it. Before, that's the before. That is the before. And as you know, obviously, if I were a photographer, I would, and good with the technology, I would actually not have to use my phone here. I could just do a share screen, which I know exists. I just don't know how to use it. And there's the after 24 hours. Nothing put on it, nothing done differently. Because Chico wasn't the kind of guy that was going to let you put balm on him or even let you put one of those plastic tubes around his head. Wasn't happening. He would just be like, fuck off, cabron. So I'm going to run the energetic facelift. And we joked about it being he would call it a Wiener Lift because he was 15. He was Chihuahua breed with the long skinny legs and the short hair. So yeah, the carriage was hanging a little low. So he was like, oh, I'm going for a Wiener Lift. It's like, but it does affect the whole body. Okay. And we would joke and be like, oh, Chico, yeah, I think you're riding a little higher now. So I'm going to go through all these energies. So yeah, maybe you can run this on yourself. We just did this with, should I bring up his pictures? Yeah, let me see. With a cat. He took care of something with another cat that isn't part of his household. He's like, I handled it. And is it okay? It's hard to see. His owner sent me these pictures. So this happened this week. Somehow the fur, he got kind of scalped, and you can see the claw or tooth mark on his nose and how it went down around his eyes. He's missing hair, and he wasn't before. The altercation is what it's called. In cat world, it's called I handled it. In human world, it's called an altercation. So I'm like, you know, his person and me were like, well, we can't put any balm on it. It's too close to the eye, right? Okay. So we ran this, I call it energetic facelift or Wiener Lift. The next morning, his owner sent me this picture. These are harder to see than Chico's paw. So it's already stitching itself back together and healing. Yeah. So that's where I'm like, okay, this is important shit I got to tell you guys about. So wound healing. And I'm not a vet. I'm not saying stop taking any medications. I'm not saying don't take your animal to the vet if you feel you need to take your animal to vet because of a cut, you know. However, watching this video or make an appointment with me or somebody like me that can do this Wiener Lift doesn't hurt, right? That's like, it doesn't hurt. I'm not replacing vets. I work with vets. Okay. Just want to make that perfectly clear. All right. So these are the energies used during the face lift in the people world, but in Chico's world, it was the Wiener Lift. So Wiener Lift, proceed. MTVSS and all the rest. Cellular memory. Connective, disconnective tissue. Contractional systems. Contractional particulates. Quantum particulates. Light particulates. Degenerative particulates. Matter, no matter, anti-no matter, anti-no matter, God's laser, self-imposed and other imposed oldings, molecular demanifestation of wrinkles and oldings, demolecular manifestation of youthful generative tissue, cosmic Botox, vibrational specificities, specific implants, positive and negative ions and free radicals, creating all olding, wrinkles, sagging, and degeneration of body. Conflictual universes and realities, protocols, factors, and focal points, duplication systems, manipovs and minorities, zero sum of trauma, restoration of juvenation, source field for the elimination and eradication of the chromatics of time, all holding patterns, compensatory drifts, and instill chaos. Run, right, run, good, bad, pop, pop, all nine shorts, boys, POVIDs, and beyonds. Oh, and let's uncreate and destroy any projections, expectations, judgments, rejections, separations we have about doing this and about wound healing or not healing or whatever happened with the animal. Right, run, go, bad, pop, pop, all line, short, spots, every other. And now, if this is nighttime, go to sleep, see what shifts in the morning. Okay, animal messages with Julie. Nobody logged on this week. Cassidy and Farley are headed towards Glacier National Park in Montana, the US side, and Waterton is the Canadian side. So these Labradoodles are going on vacation with their human. They're staying in hotels, they're not camping. And the human may come back and do a whole show on these pet-friendly hotels because they say pet-friendly, But what are the experiences when you get there with two energetic, medium to large size dogs? Labradoodles. So they're Labradors and poodles. Yeah. Okay, sign it off. Everybody have a great week. And may your Wiener Lift be successful.